So there's a lot of good research that supports the benefits of wearing compression gear, especially when it comes to aiding in recovery from exercise. Elite athletes swear by it, and doctors prescribe it to their patients for circulation issues. There are both physiological and psychological benefits to wearing compression gear, and I'm going to cover 4. Okay, so first, compression gear lowers decrease in performance between recovery periods while exercising. So in a study, researchers looked at 12 cyclists at the average age of 63 years old. They performed 2 sets of 5-minute maximum effort cycling sessions with 80 minutes of rest in between each session. They repeated this 4 times. During the recovery period, one group wore compression stockings and the other group didn't. So both groups had decreased performance in between the sessions, but the group who wore the compression gear saw less of a decrease in performance and lactate production. Number 2, less muscle soreness. So 11 people participated in a study where they performed 2 exercise sessions consisting of 20-meter sprints and 10 bounds for every minute. And the second session took place 7 days after the first to give participants enough time to fully recover. So the participants wore compression gear after the first session, but not after the second. They didn't find any differences in performance after wearing the stockings, but they did find that muscle soreness was less. Number 3, decreased delayed onset muscle soreness. So if you've ever had a really strenuous workout and then the next day you're a little bit sore and then you're thinking, all right, I'll be back to normal tomorrow or the next day, and then the next day comes and you're so sore that you can barely get out of bed, well, that's delayed onset muscle soreness. So a research team found that after 10-kilometer runs, active men experience less delayed onset muscle soreness 24 hours after wearing compression stockings. And finally, number 4, compression gear improves circulation. So most people suffer from poor circulation, especially those of us who are less active or during the times of day when you're least mobile, such as when you're at your desk, working, or when you're sleeping. So long-term blood circulation issues can lead to tissue damage, artery plaque buildup, and eventually stroke. It can also cause pain in your limbs, muscle cramps, and even erectile dysfunction. So one way to prevent that is by wearing compression socks. Compression socks work by squeezing the blood vessels and forcing the muscles to contract so that they move the blood through your system. Okay, so with all that being said, I actually bought a pair of compression socks. I actually received these at a discounted price. I worked with the seller on getting a discount in exchange for providing an honest review. So you can find a link to them on the blog post for this on mixedfitness.com. So I've actually been wearing compression gear for a long time, pretty much just shorts. I like to wear them after long cycling sessions, but I've always known about the benefits and I've always wanted to pick up a pair of compression socks, so I finally did. And honestly, I haven't really noticed much of a difference in terms of performance or blood circulation, but I don't have any blood circulation issues that I'm aware of, so I don't think I would notice anything anyway. In terms of recovery after working out, I haven't really noticed much of a change there either, but I also don't lift extremely heavy to the point where I get sore. But I'm just glad to have these socks, knowing that they're benefiting my health, whether I notice it or not. So these ones in particular, they are made from 78% nylon and 22% spandex. The material feels really high quality. You can see the thickness, very thick, very durable material. I apologize for all the hair on these. Once anything comes into my house, it gets covered in dog hair and it doesn't come off. So they're also very breathable. I've been wearing them when I sleep at night, so that's 8 hours a night at least. And my feet don't get sweaty at all. And that's really good for me because I can't stand when my feet get sweaty. I usually can't wear any socks to bed. And lastly, like I mentioned, I've been wearing them for 8 hours a day, every day for at least 2 to 3 weeks now. And I haven't noticed any sort of stretching from me wearing them so continuously. So that's really good to see. So you can get these for $15.99 per pair, which seems to be pretty competitive for compression socks from any vendor. So I think that's pretty good. So I'm a fan of compression gear, but what about you? I'd like to hear what other people think about wearing compression gear, or if you've noticed any benefits from wearing it. You can leave a comment on my video, or you can go to my website, mixedfitness.com, and leave a comment there. Alright, thanks guys.